second and third quarters are obviously huge quarters for you guys. What did you think turned it there? What happened in those two quarters?
I thought we just played simple basketball, kept our turnovers down, moved the ball. Our guys were playing with a lot of force, a lot of aggressiveness, but making good decisions within that aggression, and that's the key. Can you find that balance? Can you play with pace and confidence, and yet make really simple decisions, hit singles, and just move the ball? I thought Steph was brilliant. In the first half, he wasn't really going like offensively, but he was just running our team, and Klay got it going, and our defense was kind of fueling our offense, and we connected the game really well.
Coach, obviously, Klay Thompson was spectacular tonight.
Where am I looking?
Right here.
Sorry.
No, you're good. But JaMychal Green, he seemed to have been one of the adjustments made from Game 1 to Game 2. And, 15 points, 12 minutes, 50% from three. It seemed that he helped spacing on the floor. What would you say about the fact that you decided to go with him in the starting lineup and then later, and how much he helped you guys tonight?
Well, number one, I'm just proud of Mike. It's been a tough year for him, for a lot of reasons. He missed some time with a few different ailments, and then when he was healthy, he was out of the rotation. I didn't play him a whole lot, and he just stayed ready, and he took advantage of his opportunity, and this seemed like a series for him, just with the way the Lakers are playing us defensively, and I couldn't be happier for Mike. He's really earned this by just staying positive and staying ready.
Steve, what did you think of Draymond's defense, particularly on Anthony Davis, especially as you guys went to that small ball?
Draymond was brilliant. This is the guy who, we have to have. He's our engine, and we decided to put him on Davis tonight from the start.
Yes, I can.
Hey, Ashley Shawmedy here. Congrats on the win. I just wanted to ask, I know you guys made the necessary adjustments, big difference from Game 1 to Game 2, but in your eyes, what was the biggest change that led to just such a dominating performance?
Thank you, Ashley. Thanks for having me. I think for us, it was the level of physicality, and our defense was much better. We did a great job of making them play in the crowd, and I think that's important when you're playing against a team like this, especially when it's not every day nowadays do you see the most dominant part of a team is what they do in the paint, and that is this team. The pressure LeBron's putting on the rim. AD puts a ton of pressure on your defense. D'Angelo puts a ton of pressure on your defense. Schroeder getting downhill, and so we know what those guys wanted to get to, and I think we did a better job of defending tonight.
Draymond, when you talk about your defense, this is Isaiah. When you talk about your defense, in the second and third quarter, you held them to 47 points, but you scored 84 yourself. So 84 to 47 in the second and third quarter. What did you guys do in the second and third quarter to give you such an advantage?
I think, we really rebounded the ball well. We didn't give up a lot of second chance points when we were forcing the misses. They got some offensive rebounds last game. And what that allowed us to do was get out in transition and not have to play against their defense every time down the floor. We fouled so much last game. When we put them on the line, we shot 6 free throws. They shot 29. And you can go there and you can blame the ref and say the referees were doing this, or you can go look at what you were doing wrong and try to make those corrections. And I think we took the latter as far as our approach went. We didn't complain or, the refs were against us. We were fouling, and we did a better job of defending without fouling, and that helped our offense a lot.
Draymond, Sam Mitchell here. You talk about the things that you're asked to do, and Coach Kerr talks about you. One night you got LeBron, next night you got AD. It seems like after a game like tonight, you're going to be the primary defender on AD. What is it that you have to do early to try to get him off his spots, to get him off his rhythm? Because I played that undersized power forward, so when them 6'11 guys see us, They start thinking mouse in the house. What do you do to negate your size advantage, your lack of size against these big guys to kind of get them off their spots?
Sam, nothing pisses me off more than when people think they can just take advantage of me because of my size. It really, really upsets me. But, I really try to use my advantage, use my quickness, get underneath them and not just let them play comfortably. AD is an incredible player, man, as you know. A future Hall of Famer, NBA 75, all of those things. We know the guy that he is. So I just try not to let him get comfortable and get to the spots that he wants to get to. Try to make him play on my terms. When you have a great player like that and you allow them to play on their terms, you're dead because their terms is going to finish with 30 and 23. So, and yet, you can play that same defense and he can get it going. So I don't make too much of it. Just try to make him take tough shots and live with the results.
Draymond, what's impressive about, your guys' run over the last years is that all of you have still found a way to be thirsty and hungry to win. How have you managed to do that and stay insatiable about winning?
Isaiah, that's a big word, and I'm not sure I know what that word means. You're going to have to give me a session on that one later. But I think for me, man, I've had the honor of 11 years playing with two of the most competitive guys, and I know I get a lot of credit for that. But Klay Thompson and Steph Curry are two of the biggest competitors that I've ever been around. You add in a coach in Steve Kerr, who is not only one of the biggest competitors, but one of the best winners the NBA has seen in the last 40 years. And we just try to feed off that, man. I've been pulling more stuff away from Steve this year in these playoffs than I ever have, just trying to learn from him, man. And we've been collaborating on stuff, and it's been absolutely incredible. But when you have an opportunity to go to war with guys like that and a GM like we have who's always in the war with us and Bob Myers and that core group of guys, Andre, Loon, it's special to go to work every day. And we know we have a lot more left in the tank, and we want to continue to try to hang banners in here.
Well, not knowing what the word means, you answered the question. It just means never satisfied.
That Michigan State education, baby.
Wow, that's dirty, Sam. That's dirty.
You never satisfied, but...
You should have went to Mercer, Draymond.
That is crazy, man. Even if I went there, I wasn't taking some language class or something, man.
Don't worry, Draymond. I feel like you're doing this all the time, Isaiah. You've got a good vocabulary there. I got one more question for you, Draymond. Now you're going to L.A. in that environment. Home court advantage is a thing. So how do you just bring that same thirst? What word did you use?
Insatiable.
Insatiable energy to L.A.
Well, we know what it takes to win on the road, especially in the playoffs, going into a tough environment like the crypto. Lakers fans have been excited, and, when you're watching those games, you hear through the TV how loud they are. So you got to embrace it, though, man. That's the big stage. You're in L.A., all the stars will be out, and you just got to embrace the environment and go in and play with the same focus level, maybe even higher because you are on the road, same physicality, or take that up a couple more notches and go down there and try to get a win.
Thanks so much, Draymond. We appreciate it. Congrats on the win.
For your time, man.
Insatiable.
We appreciate you. Insatiable.
I appreciate it.
Steph, it was kind of a peak point guard on-ball Steph tonight. Was that something you guys knew you wanted to do going in, or was it kind of just going with the ebbs and flows of the game early?
There's a point of emphasis on trying to get the ball in my hands a little bit more to start, but the rest of it's just kind of read and react, taking what's there. They obviously had a game plan, and we tried to make adjustments, and I'm sure that'll continue throughout the rest of the series. And that's the beauty of what we can do, is playing a lot of different ways, trying to create good offense a lot of different ways, using gravity. But that was connected with our defense and the emphasis on not fouling, trying to make them earn everything they got on that end of the floor. Obviously, Bron came out hot, hit some tough jumpers early, but we stuck with the game plan and played to our favor.
You mentioned using gravity. Just what does going small, having that extra floor spacing, do for you guys, especially against a team with the Lakers' size?
You got to give up something. it's hard to be everywhere. All the what's that movie or show that? Yeah, I think it's part of, again, how we're using our strengths to our advantage. You know, pick and roll. You got to give up something. So as long as we're decisive and the floor is spaced properly, you usually can find a good shot, and then you just got to knock them down. So JaMychal was huge coming in, being aggressive, being in the right spots. Obviously, Klay got going early. We found him in transition and in the half court. Draymond was amazing in the pocket. The Sacramento series, we found some success there, and then they tried to, respond to that, and we figured that out. So I assume that'll happen with LA. Same kind of vibe, but we'll have an answer for all of it.
Steph, obviously the last playoff win you guys had, you scored 50, and it was a big deal. But does the TCC in you like these type of wins where it's up and down the lineup? All these people contributing. You only take 12 shots. Do you get a special satisfaction out of that?
I do, but I like to shoot too. So just finding ways to be impactful and be aggressive. And whatever's working, sticking with that until you have to do something different. So we're capable of playing a lot of different ways. I'm capable of playing a lot of different ways. As long as we're just creating open shots, no matter who's taking them. And obviously tonight I didn't have a lot of open ones for a reason, and make the right decision. The ball finds the right person, and good things happen.
Steph, Draymond mentioned that Klay was particularly pissed off after last game. Did you see that? Do you get a feeling what that might mean? And do you? I know all playoff series are big, but obviously it's Lakers. It's a team he's not. None of you guys have played in the playoffs for, and he specifically hasn't played his childhood team. Do you sense some sort of added significance for him because it's the Lakers?
Yeah, he talked about it before the series and how excited he was. I don't know whether he's pissed off at shots or the loss or both or all of it. He's a competitor, and he takes that stuff personally in terms of his performance and how he plays, and he's been that way his whole career. So whatever added fuel to the fire you need for him, whether that's the matchup itself or the personal history of fandom that he had, and now is a guy that's trying to chase his fifth championship. Like, all that stuff matters. We got to find motivation to keep the fuel going. So whatever motivates him, I love it.
JaMychal mentioned the speech you gave before Game 7 helped kind of get him out of his feelings a little bit. Was that in some ways kind of the purpose of it? And just what did you think of what he's done in this series?
We talk about it a lot in the sense of it's really difficult at times for a lot of guys to keep confidence in themselves, to trust that the work that you're putting in on a day-to-day basis to keep yourself ready and in shape and your skill set sharp, that it'll pay off, because you don't know when it's going to be. And historically with our team, around our core, we talked about it, there's guys that always find a way to step up at the right times. And, whether you need that reminder or just that message that it's gonna happen, I'm glad it worked, and I'm glad that he took it to heart. And it's a big part of who we are as a team and our identity and our culture. And like I said, it's just not, I know it's not easy. So credit to him to, staying ready, staying, sharp mentally, confident in himself to knock down those shots and take what the defense was giving him. And, that's him being professional and taking advantage of the opportunity.
Extra space was there in this game maybe as opposed to the first game for you?
Well, I think we applied what we watched from film as far as moving the ball, spacing the floor. Shout out to JaMychal Green. What an amazing night he had. You can't just leave him open. He's a knockdown three-point shooter and just a rugged defender. And to be inserted in the starting lineup like that, and and just shows his professionalism and his readiness and what he's about. And couldn't be more proud of him and grateful for his effort tonight.
Draymond said you were kind of particularly agitated the last couple of days about the Game 1 performance, just team-wide. What about it, I mean, besides the loss, like really ticked you off?
I didn't play well, personally. I thought I let my guard down. I thought we let one slip away, but, we did our jobs tonight, and we know how well this team plays at home, so we got to go to L.A. with the same mindset as far as physical defense, ball sharing, and having fun, and just being, us older guys, just being the leaders we are.
Klay, Steve has often referred to your 37-point quarter back in the day as a religious experience. When you go off like you do and knowing how spiritual you are, what are these moments like when you hit a three, run over to the crowd, got them all fired up on a timeout? I mean, you jump differently when you're in that zone.
Yeah, it's the moments you work for. You might not see them all the time when you're in the gym, when you're conditioning, running 1,000 miles, but those short moments of, euphoria and that flow state where you just feel like you can't miss make all those hard days more than worth it. And I was just trying to get the crowd going, and it's always fun when you shoot the ball well, but it's even better when you couple that with a win.
Okay. Klay, you had a really big game tonight. Obviously, you led the team tonight, but it was the exact same stat line as Game 3 in the finals against the Cavs and LeBron in 2017, 11 from 18, 11 for 18 from the field, and 8 for 11 from 3, 30 points. One, did you know that? And then two, can you just kind of speak to you in that type of play in the playoffs, and then to have that against LeBron yet again, and then you said this was a dream come true of a series for you. Just kind of elaborate on that.
I had no idea. That feels like an eternity ago. And it's still weird seeing LeBron as a Laker because of the history the Warriors and the Cavs had. But, LeBron's one of those special players, like, the Michaels, Kobe's, LeBron, who bring out the best in you, especially from a competitive standpoint. And it's always an honor to match up against the greats. So it's not us versus LeBron James, though. They have a very complete team, the Lakers do. And, the fact they're still doing this at 38 years old is incredible and inspiring for athletes, everywhere.
With Steph kind of getting into foul trouble, did you feel like there was an onus on you to kind of get the offense going?
Not really. I just try to play with him myself, and I told myself that last game. I watched film. I feel like I forced a few shots. And tonight I just play within the flow of the offense, and I'm at my best when I'm running around screens, I'm hitting the open man, I'm cutting hard. And Steph was magnificent tonight, 20 and 12, ran the offense perfectly. And we go as he goes. I think everybody knows that.
Klay, Sunday in